What are some common misconceptions about strengths-based development that your Talent to Strengths class addresses?
Okay, so strengths-based development is an extremely important concept within. I know for me, it was a true light bulb moment. You know, when we talk about those light bulb moments, I was driving along. I was in my late 20s, early in my consulting career, and I was listening to an interview on the Diane Reeves show, and it was Don Clifton, the creator of Clifton's Strengths, and he sharing just some of the findings of his life's work. And he'd already been doing this work for 50 years, probably. It was towards the end of his career. Actually, it was close to the end of his life when this interview took place. And he described that his studies of success, that's what he was studying. Who are successful people? What do they do? How do we define it? Learn from them. And that's what led to StrengthsFinder. He didn't just start off with that. He started off with what did successful people do? And what he learned is successful people, they play to their strengths. They look for ways. He said even stronger. He said they organize their lives around their strengths. Wow, they work. That was never a thought to me. And it was so empowering because everything about my experience growing up was organizing around my weaknesses. In my household, why aren't you doing this? Da, da, da. You know, in school, even, like socializing, that person, no, that person's not cool enough, or that, da, 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 or I won't pick you, or da. You just learn all these things about, weakness, or, and the opposite of strength, things to feel bad about, not things to feel good about. So I was organizing my life to kind of play away from weaknesses because I didn't like that feeling. So I maybe got avoidant, or I would spend time doing things to work on my weaknesses, which was drudgery, never enjoyable. Okay, I'll do the work on this thing that I never enjoyed in the first place, which is why I'm not good at it. But I'm going to make myself do it because that's what the whole society culture around me said to do. Look for your weaknesses and fix them. Your credit card or your report card, credit card too, though, by the way, your credit rating, you're a lower score because of this thing that happened or that thing that happened, or your report card, B, A. Well, what's this B? It was just in the workplace. Oh, let's do your annual review. Okay, good. Because I've been working here. I put out a lot of effort over this last year. Okay, great. Because here's what you're not doing well. Okay, thanks for that. So here I'm listening to this, organize your life around your strengths. What would that even look like? What are my strengths? Okay, so already we have several misconceptions in here that we should play to our weaknesses, stuff like that. Okay, but then here's another one, that we should know our strengths. Here's a misconception. Society is good at helping people identify strengths. No, it's not. No, it's not. In fact, it'll obscure strengths. There's a lot of factors in society that are dismissive of strengths. There's a lot of factors in society that don't look at people as individuals. How are you going to find strengths when you see people as categories, as, this group or that group, and you're not seeing the individual? You can't see the strengths within a person, but the person themselves can't see. So here's another thing. It's invisible. You would think a person would know their own strengths better than anybody. No, it's invisible to them, more to them than to anybody. If someone pays attention and they're good at seeing strengths, they can help people see it. And that's what Don Clifton was wanting. What's a way to do it? Now, a misconception is that the StrengthsFinder tells you your strengths. It doesn't, but Gallup doesn't help with that sometimes. They really confuse the language. I wish they would just only refer to the 34 themes as themes and never as strengths, because they aren't. But Don Clifton's belief was where your talents congregate, where they're all meeting together. When you perform an activity, that's likely a strong activity for you. It may even be a strength. And that's why it's called StrengthsFinder. It identifies your talents, but I could see why it got lost in translation. So so some more misconceptions about strengths is that other people see them and other people will point them out to you and other people will help you develop them. And yes, there are people who will do that. There are, But it's not the norm, I've discovered. You know, they really have to be a strengths builder. Like, I mean, like someone who's very interested in doing that. And that's not common.